Fishin' Canada, brought to you in part by Stearns, the life jacket experts. Ram Trucks, nothing works harder than a Ram. Castrol, more than just oil, it's liquid engineering. And US Reel, when performance means everything.
The passion for fishing is usually rooted way back in an angler's history, often dating back to their childhood. I know for me, that's definitely the case. So you as a viewer would think that since I've been fishing most of my life and have had the privilege of traveling tens of thousands of miles to seek my fin quarry, that I've pretty well seen and caught it all. Well, you're absolutely wrong. Today's show takes me on yet another Fishin' Canada adventure for a creature that I've never encountered, the bull trout. I've hooked up with longtime friend Vic Carroll of STS Guiding for this BC bull trout adventure. Now Vic's no stranger to the Fishin' Canada show, as he's guided us on some of the most amazing sturgeon fishing that anyone could ever encounter. But Vic's guiding services aren't just for sturgeon. The title STS means salmon, trout, and sturgeon. Today, we're focusing on the T, which means we're going trout fishing. Got him, Vic. My first bull trout.
Is that your first?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I challenge anyone watching today to show me a more picturesque setting than the one I'm about to venture into. We start at the bottom end of Pitt Lake, a gorgeous body of water that sits just north of the Fraser River. It's the second largest lake in the lower mainland of British Columbia and is also one of the world's largest tidal lakes. Our fishing destination isn't the lake itself. It's actually the upper Pitt River at the north end of the lake. The scenery along Pitt Lake would inspire the world's greatest artists, but the encompassing area of Pitt River is like a ride through heaven itself. Beautiful snow-capped mountains form a breathtaking wall of scenery on both sides of the river. Green, lush forests and beautiful pebbled shorelines make it a fisherman's paradise. The upper river is relatively short, but due to the fact that it's fed by a number of ice caps and mountain streams, the river gets quite large considering it's a mere 50 kilometers from its source, Garibaldi Provincial Park. A jet boat drive up the spectacular Pitt River is worth $1 million. Add the fishing, well, it's absolutely priceless. The side-to-side maneuverability of these boats, plus being able to run in ultra-shallow water, makes it one of the most unique vehicles in the world. What's really great though for the angler is that it allows you to trek into no man's land, loaded with wild trout.
What we're going to do here is we're going to fish our way from here down to the mouth of the river where it meets into the lake.
Okay.
So as a general rule of thumb, what we like to do when we fish this river is fish it fairly quick. You think of it this way, every fish that looks at your lure the first time, you have about a 95% chance he's going to grab it.
They're that aggressive?
Yes, they
are.
are. The second time he sees it,
Yeah.
you got a 50% chance.
Right.
The third time he sees it, you got about a 10% chance. In other words, you're wasting your time.
We need to move.
So the real goal here is to cover as much water in a day as possible. So think of them more as a steelhead or a salmon than a trout. Because they're not just sitting there waiting for food, they're actually migrating up the river.
All right.
So these fish generally sit in water from knee to about waist deep at a walking speed flow, much like steelhead. So you're trying to cover, so as a general rule, I like to say the water is for the fish, the bank is for the fisherman. So the only time you go in that water is if you absolutely have to.
Chasing one down.
Yeah, and so we try and stay, off the shore here, ankle deep water, anywhere that looks fishy.
And easy to walk on this stuff too. This is perfect.
And if you look at it, you see that water there, that's only a knee deep, that's where they like to hide. So what I like to do as far as presentation goes is cast upstream on a 45, usually cast to the edge of the seam. So if there's fast running water and then it's slower running water, cast it just to this side of that fast water, drop your lure in and then work it back towards you as it gets swept down the river. So by the time you get down to about a 45, you're already coming into shore.
Out.
As a
so
general,
effectively, you're fishing maybe right here in this area.
Yes,
right
exactly, and that's where you're going to pick them up. And sometimes you'll pick them up down towards the back here. But a lot of times what will happen is you'll get hung up on rocks because it's so shallow down at the tail out. So you're kind of working 45. These fish don't hit very hard, so anything that stops your lure, set the hook. You know,
and are you retrieving it just under the surface?
Nice and slow. The slower you better. They're not spinners, they're spoons, and there's a big difference. So spoons you want to retrieve as slow as possible. You're going to have the current actually working your spoon for you. So what you're trying to do is just keep the spoon off the bottom from snagging. So let the current work the spoon, and you're just giving it enough just to keep it from hanging up on you. Okay. And we can just start right here, and we can work our way down this first run and see how we do.
Test me, coach. Okay. Put me out in the field.
Let's do
it. There he is, buddy.
See where you got him, Madge?
He chased me, though. He did chase me. When I started retrieving back up, I was right about here. Okay. Upstream, baby. Upstream, baby. Oh, that's a pretty little fish.
Oh, yeah, next bull.
Yeah. I think it's hard for a little fish.
Is he done?
I think he's done.
Yeah, he done.
Is that kind of the average size, Rick?
A little on the small side.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little on the small, but nice fish.
Great detail in the spots
isn't he beautiful?
And stuff, huh? So that's a char, right?
Yeah. So they call him a bull trout.
Right.
And you also have Dolly Varden, which I guess it's like a cousin.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish.
That is pretty.
Yeah.
Now, what's he up here doing?
Heading upriver to spawn.
Okay, even at that age, that's a pretty immature fish, right?
Yeah, probably, for sure.
That is cool.
Yeah, nice job, buddy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they can only get bigger from there, right?
That's right.
My first ever bull trout. Man, what a feeling. To be able to wade in these frigid and remote mountain waters, casting spoons at such an exotic species, well, speaks volumes to just how fortunate I truly am.
No, let's move on.
Okay.
Well, that's a good warm-up run, though.
Yeah, for sure. The bull trout is a char of the family Salmonida, native to northwestern North America. In Canada, it lives in the cold, clear waters of the high mountains and coastal rivers of the Yukon, Alberta, and British Columbia. Bull trout have been recorded up to 41 inches in length and weighing 32 pounds. They may be either migratory, moving throughout large rivers, lakes, and the ocean, like the fish that we're after today.
Come on, fish, be there.
Or they may be resident, remaining in the same stream their entire lives. Good one, buddy. Hey, that was supposed to be mine.
Sorry about that.
Did you see him yet?
No.
Feel good?
About the same size as yours, I think.
Yeah. He's taking you down river, boy.
He's going.
Now, I noticed you don't carry a net out here at all, eh? You just...
You know, I probably should. I try not to handle them too much.
Exactly.
You know, we try and get a couple pictures.
Yeah.
And, you know, once we get a nice picture of one fish, I usually just...
release the rest.
Just pop the rest go and...
A net gives you, you're right, net sometimes gives you the opportunity to handle them a little too much, you know? And here you have no choice.
Yeah, I like
but
to...
I'd hate to run into a 7 or 8 pounder without a net.
Well, you know what? If you play the fish out, you know, and it's really it's kind of one of these, because sometimes what happens is when you use a net, you land them a lot quicker than they should be.
Don't get as tired.
And then they thrash in the net, and although your intentions are good, sometimes you end up doing more damage because you got a thrashing fish in the net. You know, I'd rather just maybe get them a little bit more played out, and then just handle them, and you know, like we did.
Now this is a total release fish for here, right?
Yes. Yeah. Completely catch and release.
So no fish kept under any circumstances at any time of year?
It's a catch and release with a bait band. That's a little bigger.
Yep, you got me.
Yeah, we're moving up.
You got me.
We're moving up.
I'll have to admit.
Yeah, if you get them right under the... Sometimes what I find is I get my hand a little... Yeah, there we go, nice. Get my hand wet and the...
He was a good... he was well hooked. They're pretty, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Nice.
Good start to the day, man.
That's beautiful.
2 for 2. Although that one was supposed to be mine, technically. I left them, did you notice I left them behind for you?
I see that.
Okay.
So you don't want to do that too many times.
As long as you appreciate it. Bull trout and Dolly Varden trout look very similar and were once considered the same species. Studies published in 1978 identified bull trout as distinct from the Dolly Varden. Bull trout are larger on average with a relatively longer and broader head. They are mainly an inland species, while Dolly Varden are more common in coastal areas. Wonder how far these fish will chase down a spoon. In other words, how close you have to get it to them in this clear water to get them to...
I don't think they go that far.
They won't move, huh?
They'll move, but I don't think a great distance. I've never really seen one move a long way for one. I've now steelhead on the other hand.
Oh, those, absolutely.
I watched them move from that log to like here to get one.
Absolutely.
Imagine if you're up like I have seen them where we're retrieving and you'll see them come out from behind something to grab it. So these move 2-3 feet. Yeah. But I don't know if they would come up like this sort of thing to grab it.
There ain't none here, boy.
Just get out of here.
I now understand why Vic says he never gets sick of pool jumping up and down the pit. How could anybody ever get tired of this? It gives an angler opportunity to recharge and get ready for a brand new high that's experienced from each fresh, unfished pool of water. There's a fish. There you go.
What did I tell you?
Boy, he smacked that good. Look at him go. That is cool. That was one tough little critter, man.
You know, the funny thing is, Ange.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Ange
is going to get one.
Is in the prime spot, and he's going to hook a fish. Yep, that's a nice fish, and he's lightly hooked, so that's a beauty. Oh, that's a very nice fish. Very nice.
Whoa, he's coming after you,
easy, buddy.
Boy, that is nice. Now that's a typical fish up here?
Yeah. And when they come back down in the spring to eat the fry, they'll actually be, it'll be more of a 1 pound fish rather than a 2.5 pound fish. Yeah. So,
very nice.
Nice work. We'll let him go.
See you, buddy.
There you go, my friend. Nice job, bud.
That was great. Yeah, he hit me hard, that boy. There was no mistake in that fish.
Yeah, nice.
He knew what he wanted.
Well, I think there's more in there, so.
All right, well, let's see if we can...
I think I'd walk right back up to where you left off there and cover that water again the same way. There's probably another one sitting right there with him.
Okay.
Oh, there's a nice one. That's a beauty. There's two in there because I turned them both on that one cast. I seen one flash and then I saw a second one.
Don't spook my next fish though.
Okay, I'll get him out of here. I'll get him out.
Good size?
They look good. Look nice. Just a little bit bigger than yours, I think.
I don't think so. Oh, he's just oh, that's a nice fish.
He's got some.
That's pretty.
That's a bigger fish than they look until you get the girth on them, you know. Yep. Get your. Nice.
That is nice, isn't it?
Nicely.
He's not as big as mine. What are you talking about? No.
You don't think so?
No. That's nice. It's about identical.
I'm gonna just slap him in the water there for a second. I'm gonna get a picture with you with this fish. That's what we do. What a gorgeous fish. So you see this, see how it gets nice and choppy right below us?
Yeah.
So there you go, you're doing perfect. As you walk, keep walking towards the bank. What I generally do, like I said, I haven't fished up here yet this year, but generally when I fish runs like this for the first time, I kind of do like what you and I are doing, and not only are you fishing it, but you're also mentally memorizing.
Fish.
You got one?
Got him, Vic. He's coming upstream at you, buddy. Boy, they're strong. I can tell you right now, that's a strong fish.
I feel like a rock, didn't it?
Yeah, it felt like rock when he hit. I was expecting that, you know, that real violent hit, and it just wasn't there, right?
Yeah, that was a good
I am dying to have a look at this thing, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be a while before this thing comes home. This thing is going down river. Look at this, Vic.
Yeah, we might have to
There's lots of
following
line
down
out here.
this bank here.
That's a nice fish.
And I think once you get them into here, you're going to be good. Remember, you got barbless hooks, so
Yeah.
you can frighten them nice.
Oh, nice.
There's 5,
fish.
6 pounds.
Oh.
5 pounds.
Oh.
3, 4. Oh no, that's a big. That's
That's bigger than 5.
Yeah, that's a nice fish.
He's got a bit of a kite on him already, huh?
That's a male.
Yeah.
That's only like 8-pound fluorocarbon, so I'll try not to.
Careful.
Oh, look how fat he is.
That is beautiful,
Oh,
man.
Oh. Whoa, whoa. Actually, you know, I was gonna stop and grab a net. Easy there, buddy.
Whoa, my God, what
Let's get him back down here calm. There we go, buddy.
What a gorgeous fish, man.
You get that out of him. No, don't take it out yet.
Okay.
Let's get.
You're not sure yet, huh?
Well, he's.
This is the
6,
big
7.
fish of the day.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
Look at that.
Isn't that beautiful, those pink spots, huh?
He's gonna be gorgeous.
How big is that?
I'm gonna say 7 pounds.
I would say so.
I'm gonna say 7 pounds. He's a beautiful fish.
Now, what is a typical fish size-wise?
The early run in the first 2 weeks is 4 to 6 pounds.
4 to 6.
Yeah, and then as they get into mid-July or mid-June through to about second week in July, is 2 to 4 pounds. So you get some of these bigger fish, but there's still lots of 2, 3 pounders in the river. This is a big male, right? Beautiful fish.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now he's coming up here
to spawn.
Yeah. And he's getting things ready, obviously. How much farther do you think a fish like that would go?
He'll go another 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers up the valley here.
Now, they don't die like salmon.
Nope.
Obviously, they reproduce and then they work their way back up the river.
Absolutely.
And you were saying earlier on, they actually follow their food source all the way out again.
That's right.
And how long are they in the ocean?
Well, this fish here could be 15 years old. You want to hold it?
No, it's all right, buddy. I don't want to do a whole lot of damage to the fish.
Okay. Beautiful, nicely done, nicely hooked.
You know what? The old barbless hook.
Yeah.
Right out.
And he's got lots of energy, and I think I'm going to just let him go over here in this little back channel.
Perfect.
Give him a little better chance to. There you go, buddy. Oh yeah, he's ready. Goodbye. Thank you.
Nicely done, my friend.
Nice work, buddy.
Fish in Canada Hotspots, brought to you by RadioWorld.ca.
Today's Radio World Hotspot has Angelo and Vic fishing the Pitt River in beautiful British Columbia. The waypoint on your screen will give you a good place to start. Since this picturesque river has many shallow, rocky runs and dark, deep holes, it's a good idea to hire a professional guide like Vic. You can start by motoring upstream, then work the pools and runs all the way down, or vice versa. Spoons are the #1 choice for lures, but don't hesitate to try inline spinners or minnow baits too. For more hotspots like this, check out fishincanada.com.
To get to my fantastic bull trout adventure, I flew from Toronto to Vancouver, British Columbia. I then rented a car and took the low-heat highway east to Mission City. I finally ended up at Above and Beyond, Fishing Canada's home away from home when traveling to BC. From there, it was on to the Pitt River.
Fish in Canada, brought to you in part by Coleman, the outdoor company. Muscal, repulsive since 1951. Princecraft Boats, the more you know, the better we look. And Mercury Outboards, #1 on the water.